Hi everyone, my name's Lorraine and welcome to See Through the Big C. So this is a conversation all about cancer, and I'll be interviewing different people in the community, whether that's people diagnosed with cancer, healthcare professionals, or people caring for somebody with cancer. And I cannot wait to meet so many amazing people. So here we go. Hi Mick, welcome to See Through the Big C. I'm really excited to have you here. It's nice to meet you in person. I've seen your pictures in the oncology ward for all good reasons, and I'm really excited to hear your story, but also the good work you're doing to help others diagnosed with cancer as well. So thank you for being here.
Okay, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Thank you. So I usually start off with guests, so by asking, tell me about Mick before you were diagnosed with cancer.
Well, I spent most of my working life working in logistics globally around this country, in Russia, the States, around the world.
Yeah.
Then I stopped that in, I think I retired in 2012, something like that. And then for my sins, I decided to go and teach GCSE geography.
Okay.
For 5 years, just around the corner here.
What made you go into that?
Well, my first degree was geography. I originally wanted to be a teacher, but then sort of drifted into other things as you do. Yeah. So I thought I'd go back and
amazing.
And in my work life, in my main work life, I got into some fairly hairy situations. I lived and worked in Russia for a while in the early 90s, which was quite hairy, but nothing to compare with trying to teach geography to
teenagers. I'm sure they kept you on your toes.
So I work every June and every December. So in June, I'm an examiner for the OCR exam board for GCSE geography, and in December, as of last year, I'm Father Christmas.
Hey, I might have to book you then. We're actually looking for one.
So that's me.
Yeah, amazing. So when did you find out about your cancer diagnosis? What was the first symptoms?
It was late 2022, and we were still on the back end of COVID.
Yeah.
And you know, if you get if you're a bit poorly, you say your glands are up, and it felt like that. And so during the back end of 2022, obviously there was still a bit of COVID about. There was flu around and that sort of thing. So I just put it down to that. But then those symptoms went, but the swollen glands, as it were, were still there. And if you think about it, it was.
Yeah, it was that time, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was the lymph nodes that were up. You know, So during January, I think I got in touch with a GP, and then into the hospital for the first diagnosis. I think the diagnosis was about late February, early March. And
there was you had no clue or anything, nothing to cause you any concerns before that?
No. It was just literally this was up, you know, and so they did a diagnosis. I went in for a biopsy, and that was confirmed. Yeah. And then my main treatment was 30 courses of radiotherapy and 5 of chemo,
which is
a
lot.
That was quite. It was an interesting experience, put it that way.
Yeah. And what type of cancer were you diagnosed with? So I know you've got your phone there to tell me. Yes.
Right. Take a deep breath. Sorry, this is not.
No, that's okay. Take your time.
It was a P16 positive, poorly differentiated squamous cell carcinoma oropharynx T2N3M0 lesion in base of tongue, a bulky right lingual tonsil with an apparent lesion and enlarged right level 2 nodes. Obviously.
Gosh.
Yeah. So when you were told, it was basically a cancer at the back of the tongue and the throat.
And the throat.
Yeah.
So when you were told this information, did you go to hospital on your own? Was somebody with you?
Oh no, I went with my wife.
You went with your wife.
My wife was. I mean, the most important person is always the carer. She didn't realise she was a carer. At that point,
but you do naturally. You do naturally become one. Yeah.
So we did that together. But the main thing I saw was that you go into the oncology waiting room.
Yeah.
And God, it can be a depressing place.
Yes.
And what really hit me was looking around and seeing so many people with fear on their face, and it was fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
I think I now know. And I know I was. I know.
And is that how you were feeling as well?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And there were a lot of different things led me to start doing the podcast
work you're doing,
with Wendy Lilly, which we did. We started recording that, I guess, around sort of October time of 2023. So after the treatment. After your treatment. But there were distinct stages that
led up to
that I thought people. There were a lot of things that I would have liked to have known.
Yeah.
And if I'd known then, rather than afterwards.
So what were those things that you wish you had known?
Well, the first thing, strangely, was how to cope with other people's reaction
to you saying I've got cancer.
Yes, yeah, and that was quite a sort of unexpected difficulty. You know? And there was one particular person who I used to see quite often, who didn't talk to me for throughout the whole process,
which makes you question
why.
Yeah,
and I think if you know somebody who's lost a partner or has lost a parent or something like that, until you've said, "I'm really sorry to hear about your loss," you can't. After that, the floodgates can open, and it's getting that first getting across that first hurdle.
Do you think there's not enough conversations about cancer, which is why people react like that?
Yeah, I think yes, it's an unknown. It's an unknown in a lot of people's lives, but the stats now say sort of 1 in 2. So we'd had a little bit of experience because Nikki, my wife, probably about 10 years ago now, had breast cancer. And again, I remember waking up at sort of 3 o'clock in the morning and realise that she's sitting up in bed next to me, going down all the Google rabbit holes on her iPad.
Yeah.
And I resolved I was never going to do that.
Yeah.
I did much later on in the process, but not
like that. But I think sometimes that's the time where people do need support, because that's where they're thinking. That's when they're thinking.
Absolutely, and I could see where I could see the effect it was having on her. So I mean over a period between 2022 and 2025, I fractured my left shoulder in 2022, a triple fracture, so I had a plate put in that. So that was, in fact, I wasn't discharged from the orthopaedic until the end of the first week of my cancer treatment. So that so I'd over that period of time, I'd sort of certainly got my money's worth out of the NHS, and I've got to say I probably saw 100 people, 100 sort of people working at NGH over that extended really 2 or 3 year period. And if there were more than 2 or 3 that weren't fantastically professional, I'd be surprised.
Yeah, they're amazing.
They were so good. And that in itself, I mean, I had from the time of diagnosis till the time of treatment was about 6 weeks.
So quite intense then, the period.
But that was the period of
the lead up to it.
And I almost felt like I was a sort of unpaid NHS coordinator during that period. Because that was I think I was trying to coordinate people in about 7 different departments,
which is tricky.
Which was so it was the admin that was the really difficult thing. And then there was another. the particular sort of radiography treatment on throat is quite brutal.
Yeah.
But for the first 2.5 weeks, it's okay. You can still swallow.
Yeah.
But after that, I mean, I had a tube in my stomach. You feed through a tube.
Because you can't eat, I'm assuming.
You can't swallow or anything like that. So there was about 8 weeks where I was spending a lot of time trying to sort things out.
Yeah.
But one of the key reasons that I now do this, I do a talk every 6 weeks to the prehab, the prehabilitation program that Macmillan run. The reason I do that is that they give you a pile of information that high.
Yes.
And in that, and they keep saying it, is if you smoke, stop smoking. If you drink, cut down on your drinking. Eat well and do plenty of exercise.
Yeah.
Well, the NHS has been saying that to me for about 60 odd years. So it was going a bit like that.
Straight over the head,
a bit motherhood and apple pie. And I really, really regret that. Because I should have been doing exercise. Yeah. I should have been doing exercise in the build-up to it, and I just wasn't.
And why didn't you?
Because of all the other things I was doing, really, and just,
there's a lot going on.
It just went like that.
Yeah.
It just went over my head.
Yeah.
So I ended up losing about just over 20 kilos during the treatment
treatments,
period.
which is a lot.
Yeah. But it didn't come from my sort of prize-winning stomach or anything like that. It all came from my legs and my arms and my shoulders.
So you lost all your strength then?
Yeah. And now, 3 years on, I'm still trying to build it back up. And so I really, really regret not taking that information.
But at least that's something you can advocate to others now.
Well, that's right, and
which is what you're doing.
That's what drives me to go every 6 weeks, and
which is amazing.
And sort of because they run now a program at the Moulton Leisure Centre, and Macmillan run that,
which is fantastic,
and it's really good. And had he been there when I was,
you would have accessed.
I would have accessed it.
You would have accessed it yourself.
Yeah.
So in terms of the actual treatment itself, so you said you had 30 courses of radiotherapy, and was that the first thing you had, the radiotherapy before the chemotherapy?
Yeah.
Or the other way?
No,
around?
it's the other way.
Other way around.
No, you have it. It was 5 days a week for 6 weeks, radiotherapy every day.
Yeah.
On one day of the week, which in my case was the Tuesday. Yeah. You have chemo first, then you go on to the radiotherapy.
And then you go on to the radiotherapy. And how did you cope during that period, Mick?
The chemo for me was better than I thought it was going to be. I have very, very poor veins, and that was my main concern, was having it pumped through the veins. But they put a PICC line in.
Yes, they
so
do.
And that was.
And they could just leave it in. And,
that was absolutely brilliant for me. And I can honestly say that I only had 5 courses. It was supposed to be 6, but if your blood platelet levels are down, then you can't. You can't have it. So I missed one, so I had 5. And I can honestly say I was not sick once on that, but the brutal thing was the radiotherapy.
And how would you describe that? So for people that are listening,
well, I had probably 5 different people, 2 of whom were medics, telling me in the build up to the treatment that. It was going to be really, really brutal, and the reason they were saying it was for a really good reason, because what every one of them said was, because my friend had it, it was really brutal, but that was 15 years ago, and it's fine. It was 10 years ago, and they're fine, So they were saying it for a really good reason. So I knew it was going to be tough, I knew it was going to be fairly brutal. And it was. I mean, the radiotherapy itself is you're only in there for about 10-12 minutes for each shot. It's the effects of it.
Afterwards,
that's the problem. your mouth goes really, really bad, and there are long-term effects from it, And I now have xeromia, is it? I think, which is dry mouth, so you're not producing the saliva, and that leads on to to bad tooth decay and that sort of thing. So there's there is the
side effects,
But as they say, it's better than the alternative.
Right.
So and the treatment period was fantastic. It was the professionals that are there are fantastic.
Yeah, I mean that radiotherapy department is incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're the complete centre of attention. Okay, and you've got everything around you, everything you need, and if things go wrong, which I did a couple of times, you just go into the emergency assessment bay, which is
a brilliant thing to have.
The most manic place ever.
It is manic, but at least we have it, don't we? I think it's one of the only hospitals that I've seen that has it. Yeah,
that is really, really good.
Yeah.
But after 6 weeks, your treatment finishes, and it's a cliff edge.
And then you're just left.
It was a particular cliff edge for us because, as I say, my treatment, it was bizarrely, it was still COVID-y time.
Yeah, which went
on
for a long time.
So you had to come in and you couldn't get your treatment at all, your radiotherapy at all, unless you came in with a
I didn't realise that was still happening.
With a negative test each Monday. So you're supposed to have an appointment after a week, and then another one after 2 weeks, then it's monthly, and then it rolls out over the next 5 years. But they had changed that to just a phone call,
which is a lot different. That's
a lot different, and so that was the next big issue. Really was the comfort blanket goes, and it's a cliff edge,
and it is literally you just get cut off.
Yes,
much,
well, you still have
the support.
You still have, but again, the emergency assessment bay is only available for 6 weeks afterwards. As I discovered one day after the 6 weeks.
When you went to go use it.
When I phoned to go and use it.
Yeah.
And fortunately, they let me.
They let you use it. Yeah.
So.
Do you think there's more that could be done around support for situations like that?
I think it's as much about managing expectations. Had I known beforehand, I would have prepared myself mentally for it.
Yeah.
There was a the information, if you've got the stamina to plough through
to go through it all.
Says that because you ring the bell when you finish the radiotherapy, but the effect of the radiotherapy itself is still going on for 2 or 3 weeks after that, and then the information that I had said you should start to get, because you don't lose a sense of taste, which I think a lot of people did through COVID, but it's almost worse than that. It's because you get anything that is savoury has this really foul metallic taste, horrible metallic taste.
My mother-in-law says that as well. Yeah.
And the anything that's sweet tastes salty.
Oh,
and the sweeter it is, the saltier it is.
So that's
and
really
that's still
impacts.
with me now, 3 years
really?
after.
Okay.
The savoury taste has come back pretty well. But the fruit, so grapes. I mean, I used to love grapes, apples, oranges, those all the time.
Yeah.
So of course,
you can't.
I'm just starting to get back to it now because I've adjusted to my mind to the fact that grapes are now salty.
Yeah, so I can kind of I'll work with it.
Yeah, so it's a bit. So that's a strange one. But so he said you should start getting that back after 6 weeks. Sometimes it's 9 weeks.
Sometimes, it
could be as long as 12 weeks.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's permanent. So I went through 2 weeks, 6 weeks,
and then you're thinking,
9 weeks,
what's going on?
12 weeks, I'm thinking, hang on.
Yeah, what's happening here?
I'm permanent now.
Yeah.
It's not until well after that that I discovered that it can quite often take 2 years to get it back. And if I'd known,
you could have
2 years is.
Yeah, you could have prepared yourself for that.
2 years is 2 years.
Yeah, you would have just dealt with it. Yeah.
But the feeling that it was permanent.
Yeah, was just worrying.
Yeah, it was really quite worrying. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's, so.
And I was going to say, in terms of like the next steps from that, so you're then navigating a whole new life with you and your wife from the diagnosis. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, really.
And in what way what way did it change your life?
What way did it change my life? It takes me a long time to start to function warning coming up. There's
go for it. This is
one of the things you get. Or I get from this is really bad mucosis. So and you wake up sort of 2 or 3 times a night with a very, very dry throat, etc., etc. And you learn to live with that, but it takes probably 20 minutes in the morning to sort of clear it. And funnily enough, I talked to the oncology team repeatedly about this, and there was that happens, sort of, but my brilliant dietitian Jen said, that sounds like it might be lymphedema to me. So I then broke my rules, went and Googled lymphedema, and immediately overnight I became a world leading authority on manual lymphatic drainage. So I now have a little vibrating ball.
But at least you know what to do though to manage it. Which is great.
And again, anything that can sort of pass that knowledge on to people.
Exactly. So it seems from your experience, you're using it as now a period for advocacy to educate others because you felt that information was lacking for yourself. Yeah. I mean, within reason, there's nothing like lived experience. Yeah, you can't textbook it. You can't textbook it.
That's what I'm sort of trying to do. So.
And what's the different? I know you're doing loads of different things, but share with us some of the different things you're doing to help others diagnosed with cancer.
Well, I have the podcast. We did 7 episodes.
Yes, that was great. That's how I came across you. Yes, so tell us about that.
Which goes under the unlikely title of The Mad Englishman with the Little Guitar and the Big C. And the reason for that is that for some years we used to go and stay with some friends in Spain in their house in a place called Calaspara, right in the middle of Spain, just to the north of Murcia. And I'd always take my ukulele and I'd sort of play the ukulele during the day while people were swimming. That's really nice, But inevitably that led to quite a few drunken nights into the early hours of the morning round the pool. And apparently I became known by the sort of local Spanish people around as the Mad Englishman with the little
that's
guitar.
Where the title. Oh no, where the title come from. Yeah.
So that's.
So whose idea was it to do the podcast? Was it something you really wanted to do?
Well, I was just talking with Wendy, with Wendy Lilly, who at the time was information support, and
wonderful lady.
She now runs the magnificent new Maggie's Centre. So it just evolved through from that. In fact, I think I'm doing a follow-up in the middle of April with Rachel.
Rachel's great, the new Macmillan Information Officer.
So we're doing a follow-up on 15th of April, I think.
That's fantastic.
With Maz.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so.
And for you, what did that mean for you to be able to do a podcast like that, to educate others?
Well, it needed to come out. You know, it was sort of inside me. I needed to get it out. Yeah. I suppose.
Did you need to talk about it?
I
was going to say, is there a way for you to talk about it as well? Yeah. It is a fantastic resource. It's still available on YouTube anyway. I think if you search it.
It's on the Northamptonshire Cancer Information
That's
Hub
it,
on YouTube.
So it's still on there if people do want to check it out. Yeah. And other than that, you're now involved with the Maggie's Centre, which is a brilliant new building we're lucky to have in Northampton, where people can go and escape off the oncology and cancer wards.
Yeah,
and I know you're involved with
that. Is a
you're involved with that.
Centre. My involvement is obviously sort of to go and support as I can and when I can.
Yeah.
my wife Nikki is a volunteer there, so she goes there sort of 1 or 2 days a week on that. And my ukulele group.
Yes, tell us about that.
Well, this actually started in COVID times, and on the street that we all live on. If it was somebody's birthday, at 4 o'clock every day on that birthday, the rest of the street would go out and stand sort of socially distanced outside and sing happy birthday to them. And then whoever's birthday it was would leave cakes out.
That's really good.
So I decided on my birthday I didn't want people singing, I wanted people playing the ukulele.
Shake it
so
up
we had these mad sessions, socially distanced in my garage, believe it or not. And we started sort of playing a small group of us then, and the three of us have been playing ever since.
That's amazing.
We do quite a number of gigs around Northampton. It's three of us, myself, Simon, and Liz, and all of whom are neighbours.
That's incredible.
And we do sort of 3-part harmony stuff as well. We do a lot of sort of Garfunkel-y sort of stuff, and that.
It's trying to escape.
And we've just introduced. We have a gig later today.
Brilliant! I know. Thank you. I appreciate you coming in.
And we've introduced because Liz is a violinist, so we have a fiddle playing. So we're moving more towards sort of Irish.
That's great.
So that's. But we are playing at Maggie's.
Fantastic. Yeah.
On the 29th of April.
Yeah.
At 3:30.
In the centre as well.
In the centre. In the
Perfect,
centre.
Yeah.
So it's.
Looking
forward to that.
And that's where you can bring joy within that space as well, just through your music, which is great.
The hospital runs a wellbeing conference each year.
Yes, they do. Yeah.
And sadly, this.
Yeah, because I was going to say, I didn't think I saw you there.
No. Last year it was on my wife's birthday. And we were otherwise engaged at the new David Bowie Centre down here. So
I understand.
There was no chance that anything could stop that. But the year before, I did a thing with a guy called John, who was a keyboard player, and we did a wellbeing sing-song session there.
Oh, that's great!
And that was
I bet that went down really well.
Fantastic.
And people could just have fun and let go.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So that's.
So I'll look out for you this year then.
Well,
I missed it.
Hopefully we can.
Yeah.
It won't clash.
So for you, listening to you speak, Mick, what would you say if you could make the cancer space better? What would you be doing more than you already are doing by the looks of it?
I think helping people to manage their expectations, because it's the expectations that actually do you rather than. Yeah.
And you would say that's from diagnosis as well, would you?
Yes, because diagnosis is a dark time. It's a scary time. And as I say, I got 2 or 3 not good reactions. I got amazing reactions from most people. Yeah. Because for obvious reasons, we weren't going on holiday. We bought a outdoor seating thing and put it under a gazebo.
Oh, nice!
It was Mick's outdoor consulting room, because of course at that time.
At
that time it was still COVID, so you still had to be there. And it cost me a fortune in tea and biscuits.
Did you were hosting? Did it scare you even more because it was COVID when you were going through your cancer diagnosis?
No, not honestly, because I wasn't fit. It would have been dreadful if it was during the actual during the 2020 period. COVID. I don't know how people handled that. That would have been really, really difficult. But apart from having to give Sarah on reception.
Oh yes, Sarah.
I said in the little talk at the end of it that there was never, the whole the fantastic radiography team at the Luke Centre.
Yeah.
The answer was always yes, as long as you didn't try and get past Sarah with a
without the test.
With a positive COVID test.
Yes, she was very militant, but quite rightly so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, it's been really great hearing your story and your experiences, because, like I said, I've observed what you're doing to help others, and it's really, really, really important, because, like you said, it's a scary time and a lonely time, but it's what I'm hearing more is that lack of information as well, and to be able to have somebody that they can either watch via a podcast or see in person via a group session is something that's really, really important.
Yes,
so
yes.
that's why you sharing your story is so important.
It would have helped me.
Yeah.
A lot, so.
And what's your plans to do more? Is your plans to do more?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. As and when as necessary.
As when it's necessary. Yeah. So no, thank you for sharing your story, Mick. It's been a real pleasure to speak to you, and keep doing what you're doing to help others. It's definitely needed, and it makes a difference. So thank you.
Will do. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the See Through the Big C podcast. I hope you took a lot of value from the stories that is shared, and that it hopes to either educate, motivate, or inspire you to take action. So thank you for listening.